Hello everybody, Danny Shea here along with Psychic Duck and Groot, and this is going to be on the non-political channel. Yay! Have not put something up in a long time on the non-political channel, so I've been meaning to, and here we are. And where this is going is a lot of times we get synchronistic messages and we ignore them. And so this one kind of hit me and it said stop ignoring and put this up. I'm like, okay. So I was listening to Lee Harris, I think that's his name. And yes, okay, thank you. That was Lee Harris. I'm going to shut this off. Thank you. And he was talking about the shift that we're going through. And in this shift, with where I've been struggling a lot is listening to and seeing all of the negative news. And it's not so much negative as it's hurtful. You know, I feel it. I feel the destruction. I feel the insanity of it. There's just a lot that goes, that makes me shut down. And so I've been thinking about, do I shut everything off? Do I open it up a little bit? What do I do? And how do we cultivate calm in this chaos? And I've talked about this so often before, is we drop into meditation, we drop into grounding, which I love this concept. In my awareness, when I tap into grounding, I shoot up into the sky. I love that. It's like, what? Down is up, right is wrong, wrong is right. So it kind of blends things together. However, in these times, it's really difficult when we're looking at all the pain and suffering. I can say that it's not my pain, it's not my suffering, so don't take it on. Okay, that's it's easy for me to say and really hard for me to do. So one of the things that Lee said that well, let me go back one second. I'm looking. I do have notes. Lee was saying that we need to make decisions with our heart. And I got into it with a MAGA guy. And instead of making decisions with my heart, and what Lee said that I thought was really interesting, listening with my heart, I just kind of threw something out there that was really not intended to inflame him, but boy, he took it that way. And then he started attacking me verbally and saying that I was this disruptor. And I'm like, what? And so then it was on. It's like, okay. So how do we keep this calm? And when I wrote it, I spelled K-A-L-M. And I'm thinking, keep calm and carry on. I'm going, yeah, get me a beer. Get me one of them Fosters. Anyway, where I want to go with this, he says, make decisions with our heart. How do we listen to the other person with our heart when they are speaking from their mind? So a lot of times for me, when I am listening to my heart and speaking from my heart, it has nothing to do with external influences of 3D life. Does that make sense? It's, for example, I'm not worried about paychecks. I'm not worried about money. I'm not worried about do I have enough? Can I share? If I'm listening to my heart, I'm sharing all the time. And so the question is, with all this going on, with all this 3D stuff at us, are we going to be able to shift and actually listen to our heart? And I'm not going to answer that because it's for each one of us, and I suggest throw some cards on it yourself. And the reason I like cards so much is because it gives me another point of view. It allows my intuition to drop into a different space rather than my head space, and hopefully drop into my heart space with this. So just by looking at the images or something, it takes me away from what I think it should be. Does that make sense? So many times people are listening to who they call as oracles for an answer, and instead of doing the work themselves to get the answer for themselves. And I'm smiling here because I just had this conversation with somebody. And I can't mention it yet. It's a secret. But this woman has created something amazing that's going to be coming out soon. I will talk about this later when it's ready. So here's, well, let's just throw some cards on this. I'm using my galactic cards. And I'm using my sci-fi tarot deck. So this is just a tarot deck. It's not an oracle. It's not the Galactic Heritage deck or Star Seed Oracle. What other ones do I have? So yeah, so it's sci-fi tarot. It's very fun. It makes me laugh, and that's what we should be doing. And again, how do we laugh when we're watching it all, looking at all this stuff? And I go back to what this wise old woman, young woman, said. Nancy Jean. Oh, I'm in trouble now. This wise woman said, wait 2 weeks and see what happens. See if it's still true. And for these times with war, there's going to be things that are still true in 2 weeks. But you get my point. There's just so much fast and furious news. So anyway, let me pause. So the question I want to ask with the tarot is the contrast, is the duality that we are experiencing, is it too heavy for us to grow in? Is it too heavy for us to learn from? Now, certainly those who have lost their lives, too heavy. They're gone. On the 3D. They're not really gone, but they're gone in the 3D. Is this heaviness, is this duality, this contrast, are we too much on one side of the spectrum? And then the other question that I want to ask is, and this is what Lee said, and I'll get into that later, about, are we always going to have this? Is this contrast that we're feeling too lopsided right now. And that, even as I say it, I go, no, it's not. It's for us to learn with. Let's just see what some of the cards. Can you share some information that we are not getting right now? Seven of Wands, cornered, defending oneself. I think I can show all these cards. I don't think there's any naked pictures. Then we have strength. Interesting that this is the strength card. So as we feel cornered, we draw on our strength. And if we, who's the strong one here? Is it the Yeti? And is it a Yeti? What is that thing? Wow, look at that. Or is it the frail woman with a glass dome over her head? Is she the strength? I think she is the strength. Always one talking about the divine feminine rising up, and people go, you know, in these days, you know, you look at some of the energy that's there, and it's all like grunting and groaning and hoo hoo hoo, and it feels like it's that white hairy beast, but that's not the strength. That's just the fear. And the strength. And so as I look at this woman a little more, she's giving side eye to that. She's like, oh, you don't know what you just did. It's like, okay. Yeah. So we are feeling cornered, but we are not realizing what our strength is yet. We're not utilizing our strength yet. It's time to move on. We are moving forward with some new information. Let me drop this down so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Phone away. Okay. So we have the Page of Wands. Something new coming to the planet. And the little keywords here say a new day dawns on the planet of the spirit. So it's not the planet of the 3D, it's the planet of the spirit, of our heart, I think. Okay. At the top of the reading, we get the Six of Cups. This is going back to a simpler time, going back to an innocence time. Hey, wait. So they have that little beast there. It's a little baby beast. And I think that's what that one grew up to. Interesting. So somebody let this little beast out of a time capsule. And these guys think it's a little dog to play with. Hey, this is cool. Let's play with this. Uh-oh. Careful. And then we move to the potential near future. And we have the King of Swords. So to me, this is still dealing with that aggressiveness. That is still part of it. But as far as is this too heavy? This duality, this polarity, contrast, whatever you want to call it. It feels like to me that no, it's not. It's only that because we believe it is. Because we think we're cornered. We're not utilizing our strength enough. At the base of the reading, we are going to figure this new day out, and we are going to be moving to a more simpler time, a more innocent time, where we don't let the beast out. But for now, we are dealing with that, the King of Swords energy. And let me keep going. as I rearrange everything. We have the Eight of Cups, walking away from sorrow. This is something to find oneself. So internally, this is where we should be going, walking away from the sorrow. This doesn't mean turning a blind eye to it, but it means, to me, see if this resonates with you, to me it's saying walking away from other people's pain that they need to deal with. It's not my pain. I can be sympathetic. I can be there for them, to hold their hand, to lend a shoulder, but it's not mine to feel all what they are feeling. Or maybe I'm just being really cold and callous. At the top, in the external position, we have money. King of Pentacles. I like the comments. He had it all. What he did with it changed the universe. What are we doing? What is the King of Pentacles doing now? It's all about him. He's not sharing. It's give me, give me, give me. You look at all the billionaires. All they're trying to do is make more money so that they can influence this weird concept of power. What this spread is suggesting, is it too lopsided? Is that in the external position, no. It is going to be changing in the near future. This is my future arc. That it will be changing, that these billionaires are going to be sharing some of their wealth. We can only hope, right? If we use our heads, we're going to say no. If we use our heart space, we will say yes. Yes, that is possible. Our hopes and fears, we have the Ace of Wands. A new awareness. I look at this card and I think of 2001: A Space Odyssey. We just need to touch the wand. And actually, I never really understood. People said, oh yeah, it was knowledge, it was source, it was it? Or, I don't know. And the final outcome. So true. It's the burden that we have. This is our burden. And there's a geometric shape to that he's lifting. To me, it feels like he's lifting a separate universe in a diamond shape. So what's the burden clarified by welcome to the future, the Page of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords. Yikes. Yikes. So with this Ten of Swords, and I was reading the keywords on it, this is where I'm going to go again. Next. He went looking for a better life and found annihilation. We are going through this annihilation as we look for a better life, as we welcome the future in. But there is, as we welcome this King of Pentacles, paying attention to the heart, not the mind. There's a lot of things where people are just hanging on and not letting go. And a lot of it is us not letting go of the new future that comes in. Okay, so here's something that I wanted to read on. Well, I'm askew. Here's something that I wanted to read on, as it is 3 11s, 3 1s, 3 11s, come on. So here's what Lee said, or he was channeling the Z's. He said, And I had to rewind this 2 or 3 times because I go, did he miss a comma? This is what I thought he said in the beginning. And even in the closed captioning, it was goofy. Our system by design is inequitable. Okay? By design, it is not a system to support oneness now. It says, hang on. Okay, let me back up because I misspoke that. Our system by design is inequitable. By design, it is not a system to support oneness now. As a caveat, the system that you have is one that is allowing for healing and growth to a certain point. Here's where I got thrown. Our system, by design, it is not a system to support oneness now as a caveat. And I went, oh. Or is it our system is not designed to support oneness now? And I thought, is our system able to support, will our system ever be able to support oneness? Or is it always part of this school for higher consciousness so that we can learn to think, listen, feel with our hearts? Is that what this place is? Is that what this earth school is? You know, you go to college sometimes, well, sometimes you don't, but you study a field and you really dig into the field of whatever it is. Geology, tarot, oracle, intuition. So is this like the, I don't want to say Harvard, but I just did, the Harvard of heart-centered thinking, feeling, hearing? Or is this just the school of hard knocks? I'm using my Galactic Heritage deck, and I think I'm going to be using Starseed Oracle as well. Let's see what the Galactic Heritage has to say. This deck, for those who pay attention to my channel, not pay attention, listen to, I use this deck a lot. It's because there are certain galactic heritages that have gone through this same evolution. And as we ascend, which is a whole nother video, as we ascend to a higher level of consciousness, do we go to a different planet? I don't know. Is this the planet of hard knocks? Is this the planet where we are going to school to learn heart-centered awareness? Ooh, I think so. Let's drop it down. Okay, so the way that these cards work is, even though I'm going to go around into a portal energy, whatever that is, dropping it down, we can rearrange this because there is no time stream. This is the present, and this is all about embracing family. Is this the school of hard knocks, of heart-centered, to learn how to be heart-centered? Yes. How do we listen to our family? So I have, on my other channel, I talk about this a lot. I have my hillbilly brother. How do I listen to my hillbilly brother who is has a very narrow point of view on certain things and a very expansive view on other things? And then how do I listen to my evangelical MAGA relative without him making me crazy? And I think it's listening with heart center. Either way, it's embracing family. So first card out is, yeah, this is not going to be easy. We need a spiritual commitment to stay in our heart space to embrace our family. And it's the pulse of life, the galactic core, the central sun. And I see this word parallel, and I drop into the ley lines, the parallel ley lines. Some of these ley lines intersect, some of them are parallel, some of them are they're energy lines from the pulse of life that are pulsating, dropping us into that heart-centered awareness. And where we get a lot of that energy is from ourself, is from our spiritual commitment. We light up those ley lines. Spiritual technology. How do we get there? How do we do this? We have our spiritual commitments, but spiritual technology, what does that mean? That means using cards. That means using pendulums, chakra feathers. It's interesting, whenever I get a hit of some kind, I get a hiccup or stop. That was a huge one right here. This spiritual technology that we are learning from, we don't have to pull a set of cards or our pendulum to drop into our heart space. We're using that spiritual technology as a crutch more than an awareness. A lot of us already have that awareness. Just drop into the heart space. Embrace your family. They're all different. They're all weird. Well, this community's weird. My 3D family is, no, I'm joking. All right, let's keep going. Unlimited evolution. Ooh, unlimited evolution. So it feels like this is still, is this, hang on. So it feels like this Earth School in awareness is all about the ultimate evolution. Is it going to be here on this Earth that we get to change, or do we have to go to another galactic awareness? Seeds of polarity and dream time and awakening. So what I get with this, and I'm just going to leave these in this order, but if you choose to, you can write these down and shuffle them around and get your own message as to, are we, I'm going to use the word fated, which I don't really believe so much in, because we can change what is fated. We have to look at our soul contracts. That's what we have agreed to. And is that fate? Another video. I got lots to talk about. Okay, so is Earth School in this duality, this plurality, this polarity, where is it? Polarity. Is that what Earth is all about? Are we ever going to evolve? Yeah, we will. But this is all about seeds of polarity. And how do we fix that? How do we get to this ultimate evolution? We light up the ley lines in this galactic core pulse of life with our dreams, and then share our dreams in our awakening. This is like lucid dreaming. And we have the whale energy that is in a parallel time stream, so it can go anywhere on this time stream. And So we have the past, we have the present, future, future, parallel, parallel, present. So we could put those in line if you choose. So we have the past, the seeds of polarity, and it's teaching us to embrace our family. And in order to do that, we need a little help from our spiritual technology. We need to draw on crystal energy. We need to draw on protection energy, our tourmaline. And then we go into the future with a spiritual commitment from this embracing family and our technology into the ultimate evolution. And these two are parallel. So whenever we need a little jolt, pulse of life, or a jolt, dream time and awakening. And when I said jolt, the pulse of life from the galactic core feels like a pulse. The whale, though, feels more like a wave versus a pulse. So, the question that came up to me was, are we fated to suffer this plurality, this duality, this contrast so strongly? The answer is, this is our path to a higher level of consciousness. And we get this message so often from so many different people, and I hope that these cards have set it up so that it resonates with you just a little bit more, or a little bit less, but just resonates with you in a different way that lets us move from the contrast to, we need the contrast to understand the ultimate evolution, which is the pulse of life, of greater consciousness, of unity consciousness. It's part of our ultimate evolution. Well, I like that. That was a funny thing. Wow, it sounded like an alien. What the heck? Psychic duck laughing at me. All right, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. Peace and love.